How many times have you purchased something and regret it later? I'm guilty of it. I've done it several times. Now, in this video, I'm going to talk about impulse spending. That is when you, out of the blue, or because you stressed or something happened, that you go out and make a big purchase. I am guilty of that. I remember a time when me and my boyfriend at the time years ago had broke up, and I was really upset about it. And I went out, I had a car that was just 2 years old. I had paid it off. It was a 4-year note on there, and I ended up paying it off in 2 years. Right after me and my boyfriend broke up, I went out and purchased another car. That's one of my examples of many that I've done. Did something that was just crazy and impulsive. So I'm going to give you 6 tips on how to control your spending. Number 1, find out what's triggering you. Now, when I went out and I purchased that car, that was a trigger for me because I had just broke up with my boyfriend at the time years ago. You need to find out what triggered it and what causes you to spend money. And once you get a handle of it, then you're more aware of it. Number 2, minimize your temptation. And how you could do that, if you like a certain store that you like going shopping, avoid it. Don't go to any of the stores that you like when you know that you are at that trigger point in your life. Number 3, lock your credit file. Lock your credit file. That way, if you go to a store and you want to not spend your money, because usually you don't want to spend cash, you want to use your credit card. You lock your file, even though that will lower your credit rating, but that will also control you from applying for credit cards. Number 4, leave your credit cards at home. That way you won't get tempted to buy anything with your credit cards because you will not have your credit card. Number 5, if you feel that you want to go shopping and now you know that you are somewhat in control, I advise you to get a credit card. Not a credit card, but you get a debit card or even a credit card with a low amount on there. You could get some with like 500 on there, or either you get a debit card where you put a certain amount of money on there that you only know that you're going to spend. That way you can minimize the spending. Number 6, wait 24 hours before you make a drastic move. Now, if you follow these steps, you'll find yourself not doing anything that you'll regret later. Because I know it's been many times in my life that whether, you went through a divorce, that's when I found myself doing things that I shouldn't have did. A death in the family. So when you find yourself wanting to do things like that, go and work out. Go, to the gym, work out at home, call a friend, tell them how you're feeling. That way they could distract you from wanting to go out and spend money. So once you get those things in order and you finally get it down, you would be in a better place. Because this year, this is 2023, we are going through a lot in our lives right now. And there's going to be a lot of things that cause you to want to go out here and make some big purchase item which you don't need, because usually what end up happening, you end up regretting it. And when you find yourself in that trigger point where you want to spend money, you really don't want to spend cash. You really want to go and use credit card. Then you'll find yourself in a worse off situation because you done went out and bought this big ticket item. Because I know with me, I went and bought a car, which didn't make no sense because my car wasn't even old. So you'll end up making these large purchases, and then you find yourself in a worse situation. So that's it for this video. And I want you to put a comment on how you prevent yourself from going out and purchasing anything. Give me some ideas on some of the things that you do other than the one that I gave you. And I'll see you in the next video. And I hope it helps.